Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today we are discussing an M series Rolex Oyster Perpetual Datejust reference 116200 domed bezel stainless steel Jubilee bracelet. An unusual combination and quite handsome. The timepiece, of course, is a Datejust 36 millimeters in diameter. It measures 11.7 millimeters thick with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Lug to lug, it measures 44.3 millimeters. If you include the end links of the bracelet, it's just a little bit wider at 45.3 millimeters across the wrist. M equals 2008, so that is the time frame for this watch. We'll throw it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, and you can see it well. A handsome and somewhat dressy take on the Datejust. You can see that's a result of the combination of the Jubilee bracelet and the applique white gold Roman numeral dial on a black base. The timepiece, of course, fitting well on a 16 centimeter circumference wrist and appropriate for a wrist as small as 13 centimeters circumference. With the domed bezel and the thin profile, it easily slides underneath the cuff, so while it is shock resistant and anti-magnetic and 100 meters water resistant, it is a very formal take on the Datejust that wears particularly well with formal attire. This, of course, is the Super Jubilee that bowed back in 2005, which means the end links as well as center links are all solid. So it has a wonderful solidity about it, as well as plenty of gapping between the links, so it actually vents better than the Oyster Sports bracelet. I recommend this for sports use, as the Jubilee today is now quite robust. The removable links are fixed in place by screws, and the short profile of the links means it's a very silky and comfortable bracelet on the wrist. You can see there are removable links on both sides. And then we have a clever system. It is a Rolex crown clasp, which means the clasp breakpoint is demarcated by the 5-point coronet. There's no other external sign of the breakpoint. But it's also fairly sophisticated in that there's a beacon to hook system, so it's a lift lock. You can see it latch when I close, and you can't actually just yank it open. You need to unlatch it to open. That gives you an extra measure of security over previously friction-fit crown clasps. The case is handsome and fluid with lovely tapered lugs and a rounded, complex, curved case flank, made all the more sensuous and sinuous by the domed bezel, a nod to the original Oyster Perpetuals of the 1930s through 1950s. The Datejust arrived in 1945 to mark the 40th anniversary or Jubilee of Rolex, and so the Jubilee bracelet was born as part of the Datejust assembly. That's why it's called the Jubilee. 40 years of Rolex, this watch and this bracelet debuted. The Cyclops I didn't arrive until 1954, but it's now considered to be a standard fitment on the Datejust. We expect to see it. It would be unusual if it were not there. We have a black lacquered dial base with a railroad track outboard in white for reading the minutes and seconds. We have white gold Roman numerals, including a watchmaker's 4 at 4 o'clock, and we have a faceted set of hour and minute hands with the 5-point Rolex coronet in gold. The confidence ring inside with the Rolex logo, as well as the serial number down at 6 o'clock, allows you to inspect, if you wish, some of the off-angle details. But the timepiece is simple: 3 hands and a date, quick set date, stop seconds function, and underneath the Oyster case back, caliber 3135, a manufacturer Rolex movement. It's an automatic winder with a 48-hour power reserve, 31 joules. It has the hacking seconds, it has the quick set date, 5-position adjustment, and a chronometer certification. It features a handmade Breguet overcoil hairspring that helps the watch to earn its chronometer certification, keeping even and regular time in every position. And the movement is braced against shock, courtesy of a free-sprung balance and a dual-anchored full balance bridge. It's a bidirectional winder that is super smooth in action and silent, thanks to a rotor that pivots on a jeweled staff, bidirectional action so there's no unloaded unidirectional wobble, and then twin Teflon coated reversing wheels. Again, super refined. It beats away at 8 beats per second. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.